I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Vice Chair, could you read our mission statement?
Marshall Public Schools develops the potential of each learner for success in the changing world.
Thank you. We need approval of our agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any additions? Hearing none, please vote. It is approved. Public forum. Is anybody in the public like to approach the board? Okay. Presentation. Let's keep it. Okay. In their oath of office, we can't do since they're at activities. Board public forum. Anybody in the board have anything they'd like to bring up? Anything you want me to get you in Italy next week when I'm there?
Let's talk later.
Okay. It is our building tours. Are we going to do that next?
Yeah, we're going to do, we're not going to adjourn the meeting when we're done, and then we'll go, I think Bruce and I are chauffeuring, and we'll start here, and then we've got sort of a schedule, maybe 15, 20 minutes in each building, just to take a look at how things have come along over the summer, and hopefully highlight anything that's new or that's taken place, and then when we finish our last tour, we'll have you adjourn the meeting. We'll have a motion and second. Go through that adjournment process at that time. So the meeting will continue for building tours.
Enrollment update.
Give me a second to open up my... Took a long time to start the computer up, but a couple things, and Bruce can chime in too if he wants to. It is obviously the first official day of school, even though we had assessment days at several of the buildings. We won't get real excited about our enrollment numbers until we have an opportunity to really get all the buildings full, if you will, and get kids in there. Excuse me for 1 second. Just wanted to give you an update of our most recent projections and really put a heavy emphasis on the fact that they are still what we think we'll have for the number of students in each building. We'll continue to monitor this every couple days once school starts, and hopefully have the numbers firmed up here in late September. As of right now, we anticipate 556 students in Parkside, 357 students at Westside. We've seen, according to our projections, large jumps in our enrollment. The middle school, 698, almost 700 students for those 4 grades. 851 at the high school. Again, that's a large increase. And Maytech, 64 students. So if you add those up, that's 2,526 students. And we finished last school year with 2,467. So that would be an increase of 59 students. We had kind of anticipated maybe between 20 and 30 students more this year than what we had last year. So recognizing that there's going to be a lot of fluidity and mobility over the course of the next few weeks, we'll need to watch that carefully and really monitor our class size. But we anticipate our classrooms and our buildings are going to be full. A lot of movement over the summer, and some things that really, I think, kind of make us scratch our heads a little bit. But it's better to talk about having more students from one year to the next than it is having to talk about fewer. So we're in a fortunate position, and I think that tells a lot and maybe speaks quite a bit about the programs that we are able to offer and really the quality of those programs and staff as well.
Does anybody remember what the demographer said for what she thought the increase would be for this year? I know it was a little off because we were ahead of the game already.
I looked at that just last week, Kurt, and I want to say, and I think it was in the 30s actually from last year to this year in terms of an increase, but we're well ahead of that cumulatively compared to what she had indicated. And to that comment, you know, when she had presented that information, she basically had 4 scenarios, and what we were using, I think, is the most aggressive scenario that she presented in terms of the enrollment increase projections, and we've exceeded that already. So, yeah, we're ahead of that pace.
Ms. Lamprecht, what are we up for roughly over 3 years on enrollment?
How many over the last, including 16, 17? Or projected 16, 17? I'd say close to 300 students.
That's 300 more students since we tried to pass the last bond referendum when we started working on that. So we're up 300 students already. Can you share that with Per? And who's that other guy? Russ, yeah. I just wanted to point that out, that our studies are working. We're accurate on our studies, and there is definitely a need for classroom space.
Would it be possible, Scott, to maybe at the next meeting to have like a classroom average? And I know it's preliminary. If not, maybe October, just to kind of see where we're at.
Yeah, we had thought a little bit about doing that, but for this meeting, but because there's assessment days and everything going on, I think between Tricia and I, we can come up with that for you at this September 19th meeting, I believe. Yep.
Thank you.
School board goals. Did everybody agree to the goals that we had set? Any questions on them?
They are the same as last year. We made a change, obviously, in school board assignments, and actually the idea of maybe rearranging those every year came up. So that might be something we want to think about. Just, I think it was Karen or Dion had made the comment that what one board member sees in a school and makes note of might be completely different than what another board member does. So as you become familiar with each site or each building as a school board, maybe having that rotation, if you will, could be beneficial. So that would be something that would be helpful to think about. It is a discussion item this month with anticipated consideration and approval next month. The 2 goals would essentially are the same as last year: provide safe and adequate facilities, which we just got done talking about enrollment, which plays a big part in that, and also promoting the welfare of the district and all of our students through the political process at all of the different levels. I think you had some success with those 2 goals last year, and hence that's why we're recommending to carry those forward this year.
Very good.
That'd be all for changing us around, just so in the next 3 or 4 years we'd be in all buildings, so we'd eventually have them all.
Tricia and I can take a look at that.
This will be our second reading in policies 301 and 306. Any comments? Moving on to our action items, approval to accept resignation by school board member Kurt Kovash. Do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. Do we have a second? He's going to leave no matter what. Somebody needs to second it. So we appreciate all your dedication, your work for the children. It does not go unnoticed. And out of all the things we do in life, this is one thing that I hope you cherish, because you actually, even not knowing, you change many people's lives. So thank you for what you have done. Oh, I still need a second.
Reluctantly, I'll second it.
Here comes the wrath of Kovash on Mulso now, so.
And
Yeah, just, we put some notes in there relative to the statute because of the timing of Kurt's resignation. And before we talk about that, I certainly would echo what Jeff said, Kurt. I think it's been a pleasure to work with you and for you, and I believe that all the board members feel the same way. And once you establish residency in Moorhead, I'm sure you have a relative who would love to see you on the school board up there. So good luck with that. But we did include the language from the state statute, and basically to sum that up is because of the timing of the resignation, statute says an appointment shall not be made to fill the vacancy, and the vacancy must be filled at the general election. So there won't be a replacement or any recommendation for a replacement for Kurt. Obviously, the election is coming up in November. We have 3 vacancies and 3 people running, 2 of which are incumbents, so we will wait until after the general election to replace Kurt.
very good. Any other comments? Call a vote. It is approved. Approval of the 2016-17 superintendent goals. Motion to approve.
I'll move.
And any discussion?
Need a second?
Well, I approved it, and you
Okay.
seconded.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call a vote. It is approved. Approval to hire paraprofessional positions. Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. It is approved. Approval of third and final readings of policy 206 and 214. Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Is approved. You want to just leave this one till we're done?
Yep, I think we can. And, we'll start our building tours here, but before we go, just want to take a moment to formally recognize Kurt. Kurt, I wanted to buy you a new set of golf clubs, but I couldn't get enough money from the rest of the board, so
One to help the game.
no, that's true.
I've tried that several times.
Thank you for everything. Here's a card from everybody.
Thank you.
And then we've got a memento that says, thank you for your hard work, service, and dedication to the Marshall Public Schools. So thank you for everything.
That'll work as a windshield on your scooter, too.
So Tricia, the order for the tours, building tours, is the middle school, and then over to Maytech.
West side, high school. So bring in about 15 to 20 minutes to each building, and they'll just highlight what's changed. But we have cake in the back, so have this cake with
Kurt has to cut it, though.
Who's not a good cutter?
You're supposed to put that in the plastic to keep it so it doesn't